He was one of the brightest stars in K-pop, the charming, ambitious youngest member of Big Bang, one of the most successful boy bands in history. Fans adored his charisma, his business ventures, and his promise as a rising global entertainer. But in 2019, everything came crashing down. What started as a simple nightclub assault case soon spiraled into one of the biggest scandals in South Korean entertainment history, the Burning Sun scandal. Allegations of prostitution, drug use, hidden camera sex crimes, and police corruption erupted, shaking not just K-pop but the entire nation. And at the center of it all was Seungri. From idol to criminal, from luxury penthouses to courtrooms, Seungri's downfall was as dramatic as his rise to fame. What really happened behind the neon lights of Burning Sun? How did a global superstar become the symbol of K-pop's darkest scandal? Lee Seung-yeon, known to the world as Seungri, was born on December 12, 1990, in Gwangju, South Korea. From a young age, he stood out for his confidence and charisma. Growing up in a modest middle-class family, Seungri was encouraged to work hard and pursue his dreams. His parents owned a small restaurant in his hometown, where he often helped out after school. But even as a child, Seungri's ambitions stretched far beyond Gwangju. He wanted to be a star. He showed a natural talent for performance early on, joining local dance teams and participating in singing competitions. His energy, precision, and stage presence set him apart. Teachers and friends often described him as disciplined yet fiercely competitive, someone who thrived on attention and success. Like many aspiring idols, Seungri faced skepticism from his family at first. The entertainment industry in Korea was known to be harsh and unpredictable. But he refused to give up. His determination paid off when he appeared on a survival show called Let's Cokeplay Mnet Battle Shinhwa in 2005. Though he was eliminated before the final round, still, the exposure gave him a second chance, a golden opportunity that would change his life. In 2006, at just 16, Seungri auditioned for YG Entertainment. His sharp dance moves and natural stage charisma impressed producers, earning him a spot in a new boy band that would soon take over the world, Big Bang. Behind his boyish smile and drive for fame was a young man eager to prove himself. Coming from an ordinary background, Seungri carried the pressure of becoming something extraordinary. That hunger for success, his greatest strength, would later play a part in his downfall when ambition crossed the line into recklessness. Seungri's path to stardom began with discipline, ambition, and a relentless work ethic. After joining YG Entertainment as a trainee, he faced one of the most competitive and grueling training systems in the world. Singing, dancing, acting, and stage presence were drilled into him daily. But what truly made Seungri stand out was his determination. Unlike other trainees who crumbled under pressure, Seungri approached every challenge like a test he had to win. In 2006, he debuted as the youngest member of Big Bang, alongside G-Dragon, Top Taeyong, and Daesung. At first, he struggled to find his place among the more experienced members. Early on, there were doubts about his abilities. He was even almost dropped from the lineup before debut. But his persistence paid off. Seungri proved himself through sheer effort, quickly becoming known for his powerful dance performances and sharp stage charisma. Big Bang's early years were filled with struggles, but by 2007, the group's popularity exploded. Songs like Lies and Haru Haru turned them into global icons, redefining K-pop's image. Seungri, once the nervous trainee from Gwangju, was now performing in front of tens of thousands of screaming fans across Asia. At the same time, he continued to pursue his education, enrolling in Chung-Ang University's Department of Theater and Film. He often spoke about balancing his studies with his idol career, seeing education as a way to ground himself amid fame. But Seungri's ambition extended beyond music. Even as a teenager, he dreamed of becoming a businessman. He began investing in restaurants, entertainment venues, and talent academies, ventures that earned him the nickname Sung Tsby, a play on The Great Gatsby. To the public, he represented the perfect idol, talented, smart, and entrepreneurial. Yet beneath the polished image of success was a growing hunger for power and prestige. The same drive that had fueled his rise would soon lead him into dangerous territory. As Seungri's business empire began intertwining with the darker side of nightlife and celebrity culture. By the early 2010s, Seungri had transformed from the youngest, underestimated member of BigBang into a powerhouse in his own right. BigBang was no longer just a K-pop group, they were a global phenomenon. With chart-topping hits like Fantastic Baby, Bang Bang Bang, and Loser, the group became synonymous with innovation, luxury, and the modern face of Korean entertainment. Seungri's sharp wit and charm made him a fan favorite. On variety shows, he was known for his humor and confidence, earning him the nickname, the Moodmaker, of BigBang. Unlike his more reserved bandmates, Seungri seemed to thrive in the spotlight. He could make audiences laugh, dance, and believe in his success story. But Seungri wanted more than fame, he wanted influence. While other idols focused solely on music, he began expanding into business and entertainment management. In 2011, he opened the Aori Ramen restaurant chain, which quickly became a sensation across Asia. He also founded an academy to train aspiring idols, Seungri Academy, mentoring the next generation of performers. To the media, he was the model idol turned entrepreneur, building an empire beyond the stage. His ventures seemed unstoppable. He invested in nightclubs, bars, and fashion brands, rubbing shoulders with CEOs, politicians, and social elites. Seungri often appeared in luxury magazines, photographed in suits, high-end cars, and private jets. To fans, he embodied success, a symbol of what ambition and hard work could achieve. Yet, behind the glittering image, cracks were beginning to form. Rumors of his involvement with shady business partners and questionable nightlife activities began circulating. Some critics warned that Seungri was becoming too entangled with people outside the entertainment world, figures connected to gambling, drugs, and prostitution. Still, at the time, no one could imagine just how deep the darkness went. Seungri seemed untouchable. BigBang's success shielded him, his charm disarmed the press, and his growing network of powerful connections kept him protected. He had achieved everything he had dreamed of: fame, wealth, and influence. But the higher he climbed, the steeper his fall would be. The glittering empire he built, the restaurants, the nightclubs, the friends in high places, would soon collapse into one of the most explosive scandals in South Korean history. And when it did, Seungri would no longer be seen as a beloved idol or a smart businessman, but as the face of K-pop's darkest corruption. Unlike many idols, Seungri's romantic life was shrouded in mystery, carefully hidden behind the image of a confident bachelor and successful entrepreneur. Throughout his career, he was linked to several high-profile women, both inside and outside the entertainment industry, but none of those relationships were ever publicly confirmed. From early on, Seungri understood the strict expectations placed on K-pop idols. Dating scandals could destroy fan loyalty, so he perfected the art of being charming yet elusive. On talk shows, he would tease about his ideal type and flirt with hosts, playing the part of the cheeky younger member. But he rarely revealed anything real. It was part of the allure. Seungri was playful, confident, and seemingly unattainable. However, as his fame grew, so did the whispers. Tabloids began publishing rumors of him frequenting elite parties and private clubs, often in the company of models and socialites. Photos occasionally surfaced of him in nightclubs abroad, but YG Entertainment, his agency, consistently brushed them off as harmless entertainment or business meetings. Behind the scenes, however, Seungri's private life was becoming increasingly reckless. Associates later testified that he often blurred the line between his business ventures and his nightlife indulgence. His involvement with the Burning Sun nightclub, a venue that marketed itself to the wealthy elite, placed him in constant proximity to alcohol, drugs, and sex scandals. In interviews, Seungri once said, "I'm not looking for love right now. My focus is on business." That statement would prove eerily prophetic. His desire for power and influence replaced genuine personal relationships. Friends from his early days noted that the cheerful, ambitious boy from Gwangju had become distant, someone obsessed with control and image rather than authenticity. When the Burning Sun scandal broke in 2019, the stories that emerged about his relationships and private life shocked the public. Reports suggested he had used his connections to facilitate meetings between businessmen and escorts, with some messages allegedly showing him arranging services for VIP clients. The man, once known for his humor and charisma, now faced accusations of exploitation and criminal activity. While Seungri has denied many of the claims, the damage was irreversible. The charming image he built over a decade was shattered overnight. His private life, once his most guarded secret, had become the centerpiece of a nationwide scandal. For Seungri, love and relationships were never about romance. They became another part of the performance, another tool in maintaining the illusion of perfection. But when the truth surfaced, that illusion collapsed completely, revealing the darker side of ambition and fame. In early 2019, South Korea woke up to a scandal that would rock not just the entertainment world but the entire nation. It began with what seemed like a minor nightclub assault case, an incident at a popular Seoul club called Burning Sun. Partially owned and managed by Seungri, a customer claimed he was beaten by club security after trying to protect a woman from sexual harassment. When footage of the incident went public, it triggered a chain reaction that exposed the darkest corners of K-pop's elite nightlife. As investigations deepened, what started as a single assault complaint unraveled into a web of prostitution, drug use, police corruption, hidden camera crimes, and sexual exploitation. Burning Sun was no ordinary nightclub. It was revealed to be a playground for powerful businessmen, celebrities, and influencers. And Seungri, once praised as the perfect idol turned entrepreneur, was now accused of facilitating illegal activities behind the scenes. Text messages obtained by the media showed Seungri allegedly arranging sexual services for investors, hosting VIP parties, and boasting about his influence with law enforcement. The public was outraged. The image of the smiling, ambitious Big Bang member evaporated overnight, replaced by headlines labeling him the fallen prince of K-pop. The Burning Sun scandal soon expanded far beyond Seungri. Other famous names, including Yoon Jun-young and Choi Jong-hoon, were implicated in a separate but related group chat scandal, where celebrities shared illegal videos of women without consent. The revelations shocked the country and led to widespread discussions about corruption, misogyny, and the abuse of power in South Korea's entertainment industry. As the investigation intensified, Seungri denied all allegations, claiming that his only role was as a businessman and that he was unaware of any illegal acts. Nevertheless, the evidence mounted. In March 2019, he announced his retirement from the entertainment industry, stating, "For the sake of YG Entertainment and Big Bang's reputation, I will retire from the industry." But it was too late. The damage was done. Over the next 2 years, Seungri faced multiple charges, including soliciting prostitution, embezzlement, illegal gambling, and violation of the Foreign Exchange Act. His reputation, once built on charisma and business success, was now in ruins. Fans who had once adored him publicly denounced him, and his businesses rapidly shut down. The Aori ramen chain collapsed under boycotts, and his social media accounts were flooded with criticism. In 2021, after a long and highly publicized trial, Seungri was sentenced to 3 years in prison, later reduced to 18 months on appeal. The court found him guilty on multiple charges, including arranging prostitution and embezzling funds from his businesses. For millions of fans, it was the final fall of a man who had once embodied the global success of K-pop. The Burning Sun scandal marked a turning point for South Korea's entertainment industry. It exposed the hidden culture of corruption and exploitation beneath the glamorous facade of celebrity life. And for Seungri, it was the end of everything he had built: his career, his businesses, and his carefully crafted image. From performing on world stages to standing before judges in handcuffs, his transformation was complete. The ambitious boy from Gwangju who dreamed of stardom had become the face of one of the darkest scandals in K-pop history. The aftermath of the Burning Sun scandal was nothing short of catastrophic for Seungri. Once one of K-pop's most charismatic idols and successful young entrepreneurs, he was now branded as the man who brought disgrace to an entire generation of artists. His fall from grace was public, relentless, and unforgiving. As the investigations unfolded, Seungri's career disintegrated piece by piece. YG Entertainment terminated his contract, distancing itself from him as the scandal intensified. BigBang, one of the most influential K-pop groups in history, effectively lost its youngest member. Fans who once worshipped him burned his merchandise and demanded that his name be erased from the group's legacy. Financially, Seungri's empire collapsed almost overnight. His restaurant chains shut down amid public boycotts. His academy closed, and his reputation as a businessman was permanently tarnished. Years of hard work and image building were wiped away by the weight of scandal. The media, once captivated by his success story, now chronicled his every downfall, from court hearings to military enlistment. In 2020, Seungri enlisted in the South Korean army, hoping to serve quietly and escape the media spotlight. But instead of redemption, his enlistment sparked further outrage, as many accused him of trying to avoid civilian prosecution. The military court took over his case, and after months of proceedings, Seungri was found guilty on 9 charges, including prostitution, mediation, embezzlement, and illegal overseas gambling. His sentence, 3 years in military prison, later reduced to 18 months, marked the definitive end of his public career. When he was released in 2023, Seungri emerged into a world that no longer welcomed him. While he expressed no plans to return to entertainment, speculation about a potential comeback spread across online communities. Some fans expressed cautious curiosity, others condemned the idea outright, insisting that his crimes disqualified him from ever stepping into the spotlight again. Despite the controversy, Seungri has remained largely silent since his release, avoiding interviews and public appearances. Those close to him claim he has retreated into private life, focusing on self-reflection and personal recovery. But whether this marks genuine remorse or quiet damage control remains uncertain. The consequences of the Burning Sun scandal continue to ripple through K-pop. It changed how the industry handles power, corruption, and accountability, and while Seungri may one day attempt a quiet re-entry into society, his name will forever be tied to one of the darkest chapters in Korean entertainment history. Today, Seungri lives far from the limelight that once defined him. Since his release from prison in 2023, he has kept a low profile, avoiding media appearances and public statements. The man who once commanded global stages, flashing smiles and charisma, has disappeared into quiet obscurity. For fans and critics alike, Seungri's silence speaks volumes, a reflection of a life forever altered by scandal. While some of his former fans still express nostalgia for the days of BigBang's global dominance, most of the public remains unforgiving. To many South Koreans, Seungri symbolizes the corruption and moral decay that the Burning Sun scandal exposed within the entertainment industry. His name has become synonymous with greed, arrogance, and the dangers of unchecked fame. Despite this, whispers of potential redemption linger. South Korea's history is full of disgraced celebrities who eventually found ways to return, sometimes through quiet business ventures, sometimes by reinventing themselves overseas. Whether Seungri will follow that path remains uncertain. For now, he appears content to live privately, away from the cameras that once adored him. The legacy of the Burning Sun scandal continues to haunt K-pop, serving as a cautionary tale of how power and fame can corrupt even the brightest stars. Seungri's story is no longer just about one man's downfall. It's a mirror reflecting the darker side of an industry built on perfection. And so, the question remains, is Seungri's story truly over? Or is he simply waiting for the world to forget? Can a fallen idol ever reclaim his place in a world that has moved on? Or will he forever remain the face of K-pop's most infamous scandal? Whatever the answer, one thing is clear: Seungri's name will never be separated from the fire that consumed him. The burning sun that once shone too bright, and ultimately burned out.